I had the point going in that day, and I actually we had this colonel when prior to him coming to Vietnam, he made a statement, and the statement was, "I'll get Brigadier General one way or another." He didn't care. He just didn't care. He just wanted that promotion. And what he did was he utilized us as pawns. Normally they hit, they pepper it with artillery. They hit the area with air support. Nothing. We were the pawns that went in. We drew the fire. Now they were the biggest rice paddies I've ever seen in Vietnam. And on the other side of that rice paddy was Golf Company. The objection was we had to link up with Golf Company because they lost so many guys they couldn't even retrieve the wounded and dead. That's how bad it was. They had us triangled. Three mountains, they had us triangled. They pinned us. So our radio man, who was Ed Cherry at the time, he said, Jersey, hold it up. I'm getting a transmission coming over. Now, the lieutenant and I, and he threw a map and he said, you know, we got to get to point B. We're at point A. Point B was Golf Company. What's the best route? I looked at those rice paddies and I said, well, we ain't going across them. To me, the best route would be stay on the dike. We had jungle on our right. If we get hit, we could dive in. We got cover. In the rice paddy, you're wide open. He agreed. He said, get it done. So now we move out. We go past the first water buffalo pit where they hold the water buffaloes. And about maybe 3 minutes later, Cherry hollers out, Jersey, hold it up. We get the order from the colonel to cut across and go to Golf Company. I went off. I knew better. I was in too many battles, and I'm not boasting. I was in too many battles to do something stupid like that. And I'm not going to jeopardize my men's lives.
To cross the rice paddy, you gotta cross the big rice paddy, which is out in the open, and
That's it. Absolutely. So I start screaming and hollering like a banshee. And the lieutenant heard me. And he told me, he said, listen, continue on the route we picked out. If there's any repercussions, I'll deal with it. Not a problem. Well, third platoon, elements of the third platoon, which was behind us, they got the same order. The lieutenant takes him in the race paddies. They got halfway in, and the gates of hell literally opened up. There was these huge boulders ahead of us, maybe about 60, 70 yards ahead of us. So I hollered out to my guys, on me, and we ran to these boulders. As we're running, and rounds are hitting all around us, over our heads, hitting the dust and on the dirt, we could see third platoon, and these guys are literally, it's like they're in slow motion. The rounds were actually keeping them up where they couldn't fall down. So we were pinned down there, uh, and we could hear this M or this 51 to the right of us up on a mountain, and it was popping. It's an anti-aircraft weapon, and we're trying to throw frags at it, but the brush was just too thick. We couldn't reach it, and we had this M79 guy. His name was Smith, Smitty. He was good, and he would always tell us just how good he was. He was good. Well, now he lays on his back. He's laying next to me. And I look at him and I said, Smitty, what the hell are you doing? And he smiles at me. He says, I got this, Jers. Bloop. And I look, I'm like, oh my God, it looks like it's going straight up in the air and it's going to come down on us. Well, not even 8 seconds later, it comes down, the gun stops. He took the gun out with his niner. And I looked at him and I said, Smitty, you are as good as you say you are, and everybody smiled, so forth and so on. But we stayed there until dark, and we could hear them, and they're hollering, "Marine, you die tonight, you die," and guys were hollering back, "Well, no, don't wait till tonight, come get us now." We're trying to bait them to come down, but they didn't, and the night finally came, and the lieutenant says, "Okay, you got cover from the night. Get back to me." So Lip said to him, "Listen, Jersey and I looked at him, Jersey and I. He said, Jersey and I is going to search the rice paddies for wounded and dead. So we're sending 5 back. There were 7 of us up at the boulders. 5 is coming back to you." We made it across the rice paddy on our bellies, and we ran into Golf Company. We gave them our signal. They knew it was us. They called and told them 2 guys would be in the paddies. Don't fire at them. Unfortunately, we didn't find anybody. But it was one of the worst things, one of the worst events, And like I said, it was terrible only because this colonel, he wanted that brigadier star. Now, we had a lieutenant colonel, Luger, and he got relieved. He got relieved. Now, this man had 4 companies that were all engaged at the same time and did a heck of a job. But it wasn't good enough for this colonel.
Did you go out into the rice paddy at night? You went out to find guys who'd been hit and needed to be recovered,
Yes.
but you didn't find anybody.
No. Now, it was so dark, we're just crawling around and we're out there, we're whispering. But unfortunately, like I said, we didn't find anybody out there. I guess a lot of the guys, even from Golf, they came out and they might have drugged them back in before we made our move,
Yeah.
We lost a lot of good men out there and didn't have to do it, really. We didn't have to lose that many. It was just an unfortunate thing that, like I said, it was a bad call.